Welcome to the Prog Talks by the Progspace. Welcome to the Prog Talks, an interview series by the Progspace where we will be talking to musicians in all corners of the progressive music scene.
Welcome back to another episode of the Prog Talks. I'm your host Dario, and before we jump into today's topic and welcome today's many guests, don't forget to get us a cup of tea or coffee. Helps us out a lot. Or shop a nice cup in our merch store. Skål! And now calling from various parts of Norway, almost the full band of Major Parkinson. Woo! Welcome to the Prog Talks, and maybe you can make a quick round and introduce yourselves and your roles in the band.
All right.
Should we do it clockwise, or how do we do it?
I'm gonna start this. Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Sondre Skollevoll, and I play the drums, and I have long hair, and I'm the youngest. No, yeah, I'm the youngest member of the band.
You are.
Yeah. It's good. Still in my 20s.
He's 29. So.
Oh my God.
Guess that.
Yes, I'm Øystein. I play lead guitar and do some backup vocals. And I'm the third youngest member.
Fourth.
Fourth youngest. Yeah. I'm the fourth youngest member of the band. Hi.
My name is Jon. I'm the second oldest member of the band. So I sing.
Old fart.
Yes. And
you
my turn?
make some music.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure. I'm Lars. I play the piano like this.
Oh, that's great. Okay, let's continue.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Great job.
great job.
Who's that girl in the top?
Oh, there she is.
Hello.
My name is Claudia, or Peri Winkle, and I play me.
It's a game.
No, I play. Yeah, I do. I manipulate myself and my voice now. I sing and play violin. Yeah.
Yes, I do remember you playing the violin from Progpar a couple of years ago. That was a really fun gig. Last weekend I was at Progpar. That's why we only can do this interview now, because I was busy going to Progpar again, which was awesome. And
Progpar was great. Really great.
Yeah, we had
that was
really good.
One of the funnest shows we ever did.
Yeah, it was great.
you should do it again sometime, maybe.
Yes.
How about that?
Yeah, it's been a while. So.
Anyways, but yeah, you have a new album out. It dropped a couple of days ago, last Friday, October 7th, and it's called Valesa Chapter 1, Velvet Prison. And it sounds a little bit different compared to your previous stuff, the dark black box. So yeah, how was the initial reaction for you from what you gathered through the internet now in the first couple of days that the album is out?
The reaction from the reviews, or just how the fans responded, or what?
Both.
This is it's an open question, Jon.
It's an open question. How open is it? I was really thrilled about the response. I thought it was just like, when we released the album, we tried to do something different than the Black Box. Like we didn't try to compete with Black Box in a sense of like doing the same thing. So I think it was the response was pretty amazing, actually.
It's been pretty overwhelmingly good. I think I was expecting a bit more. 8. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like, wow,
You were expecting the hate from the rock, metal, and prog community, the
Exactly.
old stubborn people who
Stubborn old
who don't like pop music.
It's like we're kind of we really enjoy good pop music, and we really hate bad pop music. But if like with the really good bangers from the 80s, that's kind of what we grew up with, and I really think that like a really catchy melody transcends everything. So if you got a catchy melody, we try to just push it further. And what we did on push it. What we did on this album was trying to just like, I don't know, capture the essence of how we feel that how we perceive the 80s from our perspective. So it's not necessarily how it sounded when we grew up, but it's kind of how we perceive it is now in retrospect. So
and the album isn't, I wouldn't say it is pop. It just kind of has some of the soundscapes of pop music, but
maybe we can dive into that in a second. Closing with the expectations and all that. I just checked out your the Kickstarter that you did for the album, and I saw that I quickly converted the currency, and you had a goal of 16.4k euros roughly, and you landed at 29k. So I think that should be a good indicator that people were really anticipating this release, and judging from the initial response that you just said, that they were generally happy about, even though there's a lot of pop elements.
I also think that like a luxury position we've found ourselves in is that it seems like we have fans who wants to be surprised by the next. I mean, they want that thing to happen, to not knowing what to expect, and that's I think that's a very special.
That's what they love about the band.
Yeah, and it's cool to be in that position to be able to have fans that wants to be surprised in a way, sort of.
Yeah, it was kind of also the level of like self-awareness, because if you're self-aware, you will destroy the creative process. So right now we had a heap of like demos, songs that we wanted to like put into something coherent, and what we did was like we made it was like the songs were living their own life, and we just had to like, I don't know, back it up and finish it. So we were sitting there, and I don't know if I'm not going religious about it, but it's kind of, you're standing there in the sideway and just watching this monster grow, like the Little Shop of Horrors movie, the plant there.
Yeah, part of the job is just getting out of the way of the songs and let them
let
them develop on their own.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be my next questions anyways, with or partly diving into the creative process. When you started working on Valesa Chapter 1, did you start writing the songs and then notice, oh, this sounds different than before, or did you say, oh, next up we want to do this?
No, it's that's a mixture of a few things. I think when we started back in 2018, we had a few rough sketches of things already, and there was no like, in my mind at least, there was no like defined end goal to the whole thing. We just started working on things and saw where they went. And they went in this direction, and we just had to follow. And
it was also after Black Box, we were sitting like so many songs, and we kind of figured out that this to squeeze all these songs into one album is impossible. So we needed kind of, okay, let's say 3 hours of music. That's kind of the trilogy. So as for now, we were actually working simultaneously with 3 different records. So this first chapter is, we poured out all the energy to just finish the first chapter, But meanwhile, we were working on chapter 2 and chapter 3. So the whole thing is kind of it's
going
a
around
concept.
in our head, and we're going crazy.
Yeah, we're going crazy. The second chapter
We
is
have to record it.
we need to record this now. So yeah,
We actually
a
have
little
to.
bit cuckoo.
Yeah, we're cuckoo.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
We're actually going insane. Because the songs for the chapter 2 is going
not good for
around, and I can see it in your head now. It's-
Going insane, and I think we are.
We're going insane here. So
We are.
Yes.
She agrees.
We need help.
Help us!
I mean, this album is a cry for help.
It's a cry for
No, but I know how like you were talking about maybe Black Box being darker. I think that this album is much darker.
Lyrically, yeah.
Lyrically, it's so dark that Black Box is a beam
But-
of light in comparison. You know.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's very interesting. So diving deeper into the creational process, when you compose the songs, is Major Parkinson a band that meets in the rehearsal room as you did just today in Bergen, at least part of you, to jam on parts, or do some members write separately and then you throw it all together?
I think the general rule is that Jon has the original ideas, and then at least for this album and the previous few albums, him and me we've met up in the studio and we've like trashed out the demo and written the songs in a few hours, I suppose, and then the other people come in. But yeah, most of the songs have been like that. But
I think it's different from song to song. But mostly it's like that.
It's unfortunately very rare that we get everybody together in a room. That's a very
Last
I
time,
think
now post-pandemic,
January.
it's different.
I think this weekend was the first time since January. Actually.
Hmm.
Before that was a year. It
Yeah.
was,
the Corona thing.
Yeah, pandemic. Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, the pandemic.
Oh,
This
it's difficult.
particular album was done quite remotely, so we were traveling because some of us me and Lars are living in Oslo, and then these boys are in Bergen, and then we're just traveling back and forth, just trying to doing things online, and me and Lars meeting up, and then Jon coming to Oslo, and it's been a lot.
But it's been a strange few years, and but if we go back to the very beginning of writing Valesa, that was 2018-19, and what was I trying to say? I don't remember.
No, it's kind of it's the process of like finishing the songs, and many times it's like I start with let's say I sit on the piano and just make a melody and I send something to Lars, and if you don't like it, I can know it immediately, and he will send feedback, and I will sit there and if it's not good enough, it could just cancel, and then I try something new, so it's bounce it back and forward, and then it's suddenly just this is something coherent and it's very good, and then we kind of creatively like everybody's participating in finishing the process, but in the first run it's kind of just me and Lars and Eivind, and then we just put up layers, and this process is a little bit different than Black Box,
It's
because
like
it was kind of with a band.
If everyone was going to go together, if we want to do it like that, it would be like too much info, chaos, total chaos.
Yeah, that's
so many creative madness minds, and it wouldn't work.
We need to limit ourselves.
And one, and then bring in the chaos one by one.
Yeah, one by one.
Yeah.
The studio.
So that's the cool thing, because the next chapter will sort of be the opposite, because that's very much a band record.
That's
it's more dynamic
with a lot of riffs and organic, and I think I don't want to spoil too much, but it's going to be. It's going to. It's
what? Sorry.
It will be the perfect follow-up to this album.
Yes.
That's gonna be very, very interesting. Staying with chapter 1, we already discussed that it sounds there's a lot of pop elements in it, and all that, and it is your like retrospective homage to the 80s sonically and all that. Yeah, at what time in the process did you come up with the lyrics and the themes that you wanted to discuss on the album or on the albums?
I always think that the lyrics, it writes itself, and also the song. It's always, you have to be there in the process. It's just I'm not going to quote Woody Allen. That's
but you are.
Yeah, the Woody Allen quote. It's not relevant today after in light of the documentary. It's fucked up. But he said that the recipe for success is just show up. And that's kind of what we do. We just show up and we let the songs just take form. So I think in the moment you have an ego, it will destroy the creative process. And what I do is like I make something, and if it's good, I will know. It's like a collective awareness that this melody or this song, it can go somewhere. And we don't have to talk about it, but we just know that this could be something great. And it doesn't matter who makes what. It's just we're looking for, like something that transcends our egos in a way. And that's kind of the process. So we just show up and we just let the songs take shape.
Happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of very, even though it's mostly Lars and Jon Ivar, it's sort of democratic in the way that the best ideas win. And it doesn't matter where it comes from, sort of.
Yeah, I think we all know what's the best ideas. And we have to, in a creative process, you have to be honest, because if you can't be honest, the whole thing will just crumble, because it's all about the song. And if the song loses, then we just have to be here and nurture this thing. So it's very hard to explain, but it's kind of
I think I got what you meant. Now there's 17 songs on Valesa Chapter 1, and it is 1 hour long. So that means there's also a couple of shorter songs on there, and so I'm wondering, is it harder to write short, concise songs that are shorter than 3 minutes, or are these merely like intermezzos and not meant to be standalone songs? How do the shorter songs fit into the bigger concept?
I think this came about quite naturally, and we found out pretty soon that a few of them, after 1 minute or 2 minutes, you sort of we've said what we wanted to say. There's no point in taking this any further. And it goes into the same process as the longer songs as well. We know. That's like an intuitive feeling that where things are going to go.
Complex is easy. Easy is very complicated. So that's kind of what we're struggling with, is simpleness.
But also there was like a conscious effort on this album, I think, to put some more breathing space in for the listener, so that in between the longer, more complex pieces, you need to have like a moment of calm before everything like goes into the vortex again. So
Claudia, you wanted to say something as well.
I was going to say something, and then I got distracted by the calm thing that Lars said. I really appreciate that this album has a lot of space. That's all I wanted to say right now after listening to what Lars said. But about the honesty thing that Jon said a little bit before, I feel that the honesty throughout this album is quite vulnerable, and I think it's something that, I don't know about the other boys, but I think it's something that really speaks to us, at least. Whether or not the people like it, it's something that kind of hits home pretty deeply, I think, because it's quite raw lyrically and emotionally in what is being portrayed.
Yeah, I think it will resonate like because it came like after the corona, and we had the situation with Ukraine, and the whole world situation is kind of, it's so, you can't grasp the magnitude of things happening right now, and it's kind of, we're on the brink of like, I don't know if it's going to be a nuclear war, but it's a kind of a nuclear anxiety in the world, and you can kind of feel a little bit of this anxiety, and some of it has poured into the music unwillingly. Like, yeah, it was just inevitable. Also in terms of lyrics and everything. So we actually didn't plan this record; it just happened. So kind of the vibe here. It's yeah, we have
like you said,
The
it
winner.
yeah.
converted itself.
We got a visitor.
Got a
Hello.
guest.
Yeah, we actually
An
have a
ex-member just walked next to the room.
Ex-member.
Ex-member in the
We
room.
got the chocolate. Okay, the party is on.
Chocolate delivery live on air.
we were talking about nuclear anxiety, and we came in.
Norwegian chocolates.
Okay.
Well, what you guys did plan is a couple of live gigs already, mostly in Scandinavia, but starting like in in Oslo and Bergen, and then in Copenhagen later this month. But first one starting in London actually, and I think it's gonna be very interesting to see how you interpret these songs in a live setting.
Yeah, it's going to be slightly
Really
different.
exciting.
So it's going to be a little bit more energy than the album.
Yeah, and I think that something that maybe we haven't even spoken about a bit within ourselves is that we haven't played a live gig together as the pure NP7 since pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
How long is it? How long has it been?
So many times with everything. So this is just, I just think that the energy for us live now is going to be
Insane.
quite insane. A little bottled up.
It's the only place where you actually can get out the madness in the brain. Like me on the drums, it's like it's a free space where I'm finally am allowed to like scream and like be wild. So we need it, especially after this pandemic. I feel like
Except from
Jesus.
except from the library gig, it was 2.5 years between them.
Yeah, January 2020.
Yeah.
Space
Actually.
over 3 years, right?
We're getting old.
You're getting
That's it.
Yes.
it's crazy.
Wonderful. I wish I could be there. But I also do hope that these won't be the only dates in the near future that you'll be doing. We all hope that you will be able to promote the album live in more cities and do more shows to get out the craziness out of the head.
We will have a farewell tour next year. So
Yeah, the big farewell tour.
we will start the first farewell tour next year.
But then you'll have to do the reunion to the year after, because chapter 3 is not going to be out by next year.
It's never going to be out.
Well, you know how this works. You want to be our manager? We just
Please.
All right.
It will be.
Are you guys drunk?
No. I was just. I have thoughts in my head
this
now.
is like this is natural behavior.
I know.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You know that, Lars.
I know that.
Oh, fuck.
but hopefully it will be many more dates.
Yes, absolutely.
That would be
Most likely.
It will be.
Wonderful. Fingers crossed for a successful couple of shows, and that the stars align, that you can do more after that. All the best of luck with chapter 1, and I'm really curious about chapter 2 and 3 at one point.
Yep.
We are exciting. We're excited.
We're excited ourselves.
Thank you so much for taking the time and talking a little bit about Valesa chapter 1. Red, no, not Red Velvet, but Velvet Prison.
Yeah,
there we go.
It's quite red album cover. Actually.
It is.
That's rare.
Or something.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Fantastic.
You people out there, thanks for listening. Don't forget to check out the socials of Major Parkinson and like and subscribe to their pages and channels. Same for us, the Progspace. Always appreciate a like and a subscription. And we got these beautiful mugs and more merch in our merch store.
Amazing.
You can also get us a cup of coffee and all that. Helps us out a lot. Until next time, take care of yourselves and your loved ones and keep spreading that prog love.
Fantastic.
Bye.
Nice. Bye.
Thank you.
The Prog Talks, produced by the Progspace. Main host, Rune Belsvik-Reinås. Produced by Rune Belsvik-Reinås, Vanessa and Matthias Kirsch. All graphics and animations by Vanessa Kirsch. Intro theme by Giuseppe Negri. Outro theme by Zach Munowitz. This was the Prog Talks by the Progspace. See you in a week.